a nice prominent line, the seam or ridge that runs between them. And this is the next soft spot of the coconut. So you can grab a blunt object like a hammer or a mallet at home. I've got this little lava rock right here. So hitting on this line is usually going to open it pretty quickly in less than a minute. So once you hear that, follow it around. And then you can simply pry it right open. Just like that. And as you can see, but as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of muscle. I do not work out at all. So once you find the right spot and hit on it, it's going to crack right open. So this little yellow thing here, I kind of broke apart. That was the little plant that soaks up all the water on the inside while intact. And it's very spongy, sweet. A lot of people like to eat it when it's bigger and fills up the space. They call it Hawaiian cotton candy. I've tried it. It's not too bad. But a phrase you're going to want to remember after cracking open up the coconut is white meat good to eat. So as long as it's a bright white color, there's no discoloration or slimy texture, you can eat it right from the shell. And we do have a pretty perfect coconut going on right here. So at this stage, this meat kind of tastes like a sweet almond straight from the shell. But I don't know if you ever tried to get the meat out of a brown coconut before. You might have ended up bending, breaking all the silverware in the house. So I've been there, done that, because this meat is very stuck to the shell in the brown stage. So in the younger stages, those green and yellow coconuts, the shell is much less mature, which is why they can just chop a top of it off with a machete and you can drink your water. This meat will be very thin at that stage as well, has a texture like jello. You can just grab a spoon and scrape it right out. But this coconut does soak up a lot more moisture as it gets to the brown stage. And when they wanted to get the meat out from this coconut in the old days, they would grab a seashell, scrape at this for hours and hours. However, thankfully for us, though, we don't have to put that kind of labor in. We can use our modern methods like our freezers. So if you take your two pieces, put them back together, rubber band it shut however it fits, freeze it for about 3 to 6 hours or overnight, whichever works best for you. And then take it out, let it thaw. This meat is going to pop right out of the shell because there's a lot of moisture in this meat. So in the freezer, moisture just expands. As it thaws, it's going to naturally contract and pull right off of the shell. Another way to get the meat out of your coconut, a little bit faster way, is by putting it in the oven. So put this face down on a cookie sheet for about 20 minutes at 250 degrees. Take it out, let it cool down. Your meat is also going to pop right out. You're just going to have toasted coconut. So it's going to be a bit crispier or drier, depending on what kind of meat you want. If you want your coconut oil or milk, that will come from the coconut meat. So if you take it out using the freezer method, chop it up into small chunks and put it on a frying pan on low heat. The liquid coming off this meat is going to be your coconut oil, which is great for skin psoriasis, eczema, for many different things. Coconut milk, you want this very fine, so take it out using the freezer. Put it through a food processor or a blender and strain it through a cheesecloth. Then you'll have your fresh coconut milk. Now the only catch is one coconut does produce just about a shot glass worth of coconut milk or oil. So if you want a good amount, a gallon or a liter, you might have to wait those 6 years for your own tree. But as you can tell, these ancient Hawaiians are very resourceful and didn't like to waste anything. They did use all parts of the coconut tree. So the wooden trunk, they would cut down, hollow it out into storage containers and drums they could use. And the leaves of the tree, they would weave into their hats, bags, mats, and even thatching for roofs and whatnot. Now these shells, after they got the meat out of them, these became their cups and their bowls. This side with the hole could work like a natural filter for them. If they were skilled enough, they could even carve their hunting tools, fishing hooks, and weapons out of these. Today, we're slowly starting to bring back the use of these shells in Hawaii. They're mainly going to find them in our souvenir shops, right? As the coconut purses, candles, jewelry, buttons, that sort of thing. For some odd reason, though, Hawaii did get really famous for the coconut. Bras, ladies, one size does not fit all. Sometimes it's going to crack very lopsided, so you'll be hunting for that perfect fit. But this does conclude my demonstration, so feel free to come up, check out the coconut, take your coconut bra picture if you like. As this is also the only stop on the tour, feel free to check out nearby plants. You have a few minutes to see the banana trees, coffee trees, fruit trees, flowers. Just please make sure not to pick anything, and then we'll begin boarding in a few minutes.